Hello everyone, welcome back to Tinateach. This is Python list comprehension part 1. We'll be talking about the definition. I'll be talking about the definition of list comprehension and then the syntax as well as the usage of list comprehension because it is pretty handy. First off, what is a list comprehension? It gives you a shorter syntax when you create a new list based on a list that already has been created. Obviously, for a certain task, there are a lot of ways to write code around it. There are a lot of varieties that you can write a certain code and what it can do. And instead of writing list comprehension, you can go with a simple for loop with an if condition. So this is the longer way of creating a new list from an existing list. We have numbers 1, 2, and 3, and we have an empty new list. For x, as I've said in the last lesson, it doesn't have to be x, it could be output, it could be result, it could be I, G, whatever, all right? As long as you don't overlap it with important names like numbers, new lists, and keywords. In numbers, so this is our if condition. If the string O is in X, append it to new list. Do you remember what append is? It's basically adding 1 and 2, simply add it to the new list, all right? And then print new list. As you can see, this is a rather long-winded way. You have to type a lot, so an alternative is using list comprehension that gives you a one-line syntax. Once again, we have the numbers list. For new list, we put in X for X. So once again, it calls up the for loop, but it's just a shortcut of doing it. So it's the same as, writing that is the same as this, okay? In numbers, if O in X. As you've noticed, we have the keywords that we've seen here. We have for, and we have if and if, all right? Now let's move on to the syntax. This is just a quick introduction. I'll be going deeper into what expression mean, what item mean, as well as iterable and condition in part 2 of list comprehension, all right? And something to note is that creating a new list does not affect the old list. So you can just churn out list comprehensions after list comprehensions and for loops as long as you put it in a different name. It does not affect the old list whatsoever. You can continue to reuse the old list again and again. I have some examples here before we move on to the demonstration. I have a list named countries with France, Germany, and Japan. New list. Result. Now this is in replacement of the X that you've seen here previously. Result. For result in countries. If result does not, okay, this is an opposite of this comparison operator, which is equal. This simply means does not is the opposite definition. Let me just erase this. If result does not equals to Japan, okay? And what do you think this new list will achieve? What elements do you think resides within this new list after we write this statement? It would be France and Germany because we specifically stated that result does not equal to Japan, okay? For new list number 2, milk tea for output. Once again, output is the same as result, which is also the same as X in countries. What this does is that it replaces all of the values within the list with whatever you write here. In this case is milk tea. So instead of having France, Germany, and Japan, you would just have milk tea, and milk tea. Next up is new list number 3, X upper. Now, I wonder if you remember this method. Upper is a method of having all of the strings be uppercase, okay? For X in countries, which will return the countries list, but France, Germany, and Japan all in uppercase. Let's have a list named elements, and within elements we have oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, lithium, sodium. En new list. So this list will simply take every element that has En within it. And for now it is empty. For I in elements, if En in I, En new list append I. And then print En new list. Now another new list with in this case, let's do a list comprehension output for output in elements if in output. So we have lithium and sodium in here. Print new list. Potassium new list equals to potassium for X in elements. Print potassium new list. Upper new list equals to X dot upper for result in elements. Print upper new list. Contrast to save. So for our for loop, we have oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen. As you've noticed, all have En within the elements. Next up is new list. We'll print, we'll add anything with a to new list. Therefore, we have lithium and sodium. Down here for potassium new list, we simply replace every element with potassium, so you have a bunch of potassium over here. Okay, this one returns an error. It says name error, name X is not defined. So it seems like I made a mistake over here. Result should be result X, should be X, okay? Contrast the same. Let's run it one more time. There we go. Now everything is in uppercase. That's it for today's lesson. Please do stay tuned with List Comprehension Part 2. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Learn today, better tomorrow. Goodbye.